Alrighty. Are we all good to go?
Aye,
Yeah.
aye.
Probably.
Okay. Alex, are you good? Okay, now we should be good. So, last time, you all got yoinked. You've all been isekai'd. You guys fought a chimera and did very well for yourselves, I must say. Twink came and rescued you. Echo ran away. And we left off with you all waiting. And Tyriad's just brought Echo back from seeing the veil, which is fun. So we'll come back in with you all sitting. Tyriad is still with you for now. Would any of you like to do anything?
How many hours has it been since we sat here?
Not long.
Oh.
So you guys would have gotten there probably like only 15 or so minutes before he showed back up with Echo.
And the purple cat and the lizard with the gun are still arguing?
Purple cat and lizard with gun? Are you guys still arguing?
Just want to make sure I know where we are.
I don't think so.
Echo says her piece to Garn about whatever she said last time. And she's sitting there with her legs crossed and she's just fiddling with her nails with her arms crossed.
Alright. So
Rory... Oh,
go ahead.
Rory would like to inquire what everyone's name is. We didn't really get to introduce each other during that fight.
Homer looks a little lost in thought. His leg is bouncing up and down. He's kind of snapped out of thought, and he spares a glance over at Rory and says, Homer bum. And that's all he says. Goes back to fiddling with the pipe in his hand.
Are you okay over there, Mr. Homer?
He lets out a snort, and his eyebrows raise. And he says, Am I okay? Am I okay? I'm here with whatever you are, the lizard, the cat lady. He kind of looks over to Echo and wiggles his eyebrows up and down. I am fantastic. I guess this place, forest, this architecture, clean water, that twink. He gestures over to Tyrant. cannot believe that heaven is real. He slaps his leg. Oh my God, they were right. The Christians were right. I have died and gone to heaven.
I don't think this is exactly heaven.
How do you reckon? How do you reckon that?
There's still people here.
Homer gestures over to Gurn and, waggles his finger at you. I like you. You and I, we're gonna make a great team. He nods his head up and down.
Rory looks at Gurn and he says, "I apologize for calling you the lizard with the gun. I've never seen kobolds before. Think that's what you said you were, right?"
Yep.
And he looks over to Echo. "You're not a cat lady, right?"
Well, I guess technically I am, darling. But I don't like to be called that. I am called Echo.
And may I ask why you ran in the forest, if leaving us earlier? I mean, it's totally understandable. Don't get me wrong. It's just, I'm just want to know why.
You. I have to get back. I need to get back. I just need to get back, and I'm not about I'm not one that's going to trust easily.
I mean, I understand.
You're going
It's
to
not like
sit here and tell me to trust the first guy that comes in?
no, I agree with you 75% of the way. Just I have no information.
The
So
only reason I came back is because there's a fucking wall.
wait, what?
There's a wall
wall?
out there.
What?
We're trapped.
Oh, like it's in the middle of the forest, or
It was like the edge of the world.
Tyriad will chime
Damn
in.
it.
Well, technically it's a veil, but you are right to imply it as the edge of the world. I mean, that's more or less the case.
She hisses at him.
I knew this place was too good to look true. Sorry. I knew this place was too good to be true. Homer leans back and smooths out his hair. Think you get free from something and you just end up in another fucking prison. He takes the pipe to his mouth and he tries to smoke the remaining resin in the pipe.
Rory seems visibly shaken. What? Trapped? We can't be I can't stay here. I already. I know we're. I thought this was temporary. Hold on, wait. And he starts panicking to himself, muttering to himself.
As much as I would like to stay and explain all of this to you, Tyriad takes out a pocket watch from his cloak. You seem like a little nervous. I have to be going, but I will meet back up with you tomorrow. Please be polite to Charlie, if you will.
She glares daggers at him.
He'll give you all a nod and then disappear in a flash of purple light.
I've seen worse places to be trapped in.
Rory sinks into his hands and curls up in a ball. This can't be happening.
Would you rather be dead? To whatever that
Yes.
thing was. Well,
If we're not already dead.
Last,
Are we not?
I was hiding in a box barrel, whatever. I'm hiding in trash. How did I die? I don't understand.
The door on the other side of the room will open. And a sort of like wiry, dark-haired human, looking tired, will lean out. All right, I'm ready for you all. Come on in. And he'll gesture, and then leaving the door open, he'll go back into the room.
oh, great.
Rory shrugs, gets up, and slowly walks towards the door.
Homer, while exhaling smoke, gets up, cracks his back, and meanders on over to the open door.
Rolling her eyes, she clucks her tongue and then gets up from her chair and goes up in.
Shrugging, Gurn will get up. I don't know what's their problem.
You all enter into a smaller room with a desk, and the guy who beckoned you is sitting at it. There are 4 chairs, sort of, 2 of which look like they actually belong there, and then 2 clearly just kind of pulled from somewhere else. He'll gesture for you all to sit. Welcome to the city. Bit of a hectic night, I can imagine, for all of you, so we'll get this done as quickly as possible. I have some paperwork for you to fill out. Only one of these I need you to sign tonight. The other you can take with you if you'd like. I mean, would expedite things to sign them both now, but it's really your call. And he'll start handing a small packet of paper to each of you.
What kind of businesswoman would I be if I didn't just read through everything?
Well, I mean, you can certainly take all the time you'd like.
She snatches
Upon
the
being,
paper. Sorry. Go ahead.
upon being handed the packet, is there a lot of words on these?
Yes. So
Oh.
I have just shared the first packet that you are
Oh
getting.
my god, what the fuck?
For those of you who don't want to read through the entire 8 pages of it, the summary is that you're all being offered residency and a place to live here. The exchange being you're agreeing to follow and learn the laws of the city, along with a small number of public duties such as attending certain magic rituals once a year. Agreeing not to perform certain types of magic, which are listed, and you'll all be given a book of the laws of the city to reference in your own time. The entire legal code is not listed here. This is just a residency contract, or not even a contract, but paperwork. Feel free to read through it if you'd like to, but
Upon being handed this packet, Homer looks at all of the words on the page, and he has a disgruntled, frustrated expression on his face. One of his knees is bouncing even faster. He kind of, grips the paper tightly, leans forward. His mouth is moving almost as if he's reading. And in between attempting to read, he just goes like, this contact, God damn it. It seems like he's having a hard time.
The guy who is with you will give basically the same rundown that I just did, explaining that you are being sponsored for citizenship. You will be given a house to live in, assuming that you don't do anything to forfeit said citizenship, such as killing someone, stealing, breaking the laws in other ways, property damage, theft. The legal code of the city, he'll gesture to a hefty tome on his desk nearby, will be provided to you in your place of residency for your reference. Please become familiarized with it. And when you are satisfied, you can sign here and here.
I am not reading this, but Echo goes through every little bit of it.
Genuinely, there's nothing really sketchy about it.
Okay.
Basically,
Rory...
the laws of the city are the same as you would expect in, a normal city. Along with some extra magic stuff about, primarily, which, again, the guy with you now, he'll ask, are any of you spellcasters?
Rory sheepishly raises his hand. He has questions as he reads through certain parts.
Sure.
There's a section that concerns him because he is not a necromancer of any kind. However, his magic has been seen as necromancy to some untrained eyes. I don't want to get in trouble more than I need to. How do I go about this?
Well, you say your magic isn't necromancy, then you shouldn't have any issues. I mean, the enforcement officers are trained in identifying the exact types of magic. As long as you're not raising the dead.
Rory tries to keep that in mind for future activities in the city. He meant to make some mental note for that. Do we have to register being a magic user?
Part of your processing will be registered, but there's nothing that you have to do specifically. We don't need to know the details. The only concern is that there are certain spells and schools of magic that work differently or are illegal here. Namely conjuration magic. If any of you are used to summoning, particularly from other planes of existence, you won't be able to do that here, as it disrupts our citizens' lives, as you cannot pull from other dimensions. So it's just not really fair for our elemental and demonic and other residents, as it were.
Upon hearing that, Rory's eyes widened. Wait, how did we get here then? Were we not summoned?
Well, not by a caster, exactly. I suppose you could say you were summoned by the city itself in a way.
Would there be a point in doing a deception check here? Or a perception check?
Are you trying... I'm assuming you're thinking insight? Are you trying to figure
Yeah,
out...
yeah.
You can go for it, sure.
What
exactly are you trying to figure out?
He feels like he's being lied to about something.
Okay.
Whether or not we were summoned, someone summoned us here or not.
You can go ahead and roll for it.
What roll do I do?
There should be insight on your skills list.
I just click it, right?
Yep.
Let me bring up the chat.
The entire time
Oh.
this conversation Gern is trying to read the contract and has probably maybe finished one page by now.
All right.
Well, that's a horrible roll.
Well, you rolled with advantage, and I take the first roll, which is a 20, which is actually very good.
Oh, okay. I just saw the 2.
Yep. So yeah, you could tell this guy, he's tired. It is probably about 2:30 in the morning at this point. But while he isn't necessarily, he's definitely telling you the truth. But you get the feeling he doesn't entirely really know how it works. Or like the exact details of how you guys ended up here.
Rory just sighs out loud. Oh, I guess if that's what it is, he continues to read.
Echo will have finished her reading and will start to help Gurn and Homer with
Oh my.
parts where they have questions and whatever.
Homer is visibly distressed. Despite the explanation given to him, his main focus is in the paper, and he is visibly distressed. And he does allow Echo to, kind of point things out to him, but he seems a little bristly. And now his hand, one of his fingers on his hand, will not stop moving. And a bead of sweat rolls down his forehead. He's quiet. Sir, can I use a pen to sign this shit? He says through almost gritted teeth.
Oh, of course, if you're ready, here. And he'll hand you a pen. And he'll give one to each of you.
Homer.
Oh.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Sorry.
You first,
This
Homer.
is my first campaign session in a few years, so if I'm ever speaking too much as my character and stuff, feel free to be okay, it's okay, sorry.
We can all interrupt each other, it's fine.
For sure.
Before.
Homer levels a glare at the person in front of him and says, so, if I understand this correctly, he kind of is hitting the paper against his leg. I'm in a place that I can't leave with a bunch of rules. And I just got here from white-haired twink with pointy he almost says a word and then doesn't finish it. Ears. Pointy ears. You expect me, in the first few hours of being here, to abide by these rules in a place where I don't even understand where I am. He looks like he's getting increasingly agitated, but otherwise looks like he's trying to keep a calm demeanor, but something else is starting to grate at his patience.
Well, of course, there's a bit of a grace period allowing you to learn the laws of the city. I can't make any assumptions about where y'all come from, but assuming that you aren't from anywhere too unlawly, the basics are, as to be expected. Be civil, don't kill anyone, no violent crime.
Rory sheepishly looked at the pen in his hand and at the signed document already. I thought we signed in blood while he's sucking on his finger to heal it.
can accept that.
I'm sorry. I thought all contracts are always signed in blood. Is that not how that works?
Not here, no. Also, this is more of an agreement, really. Just
Oh,
sort of
well, here's my
informing you on
here,
what's
here,
expected of you and what you'll be given in exchange.
here's my paper.
Thanks.
I'll just, and here's the pen. I'll just go. I'll be over. I'll be over there.
He'll kind of take it like with the tips of his fingers and tuck it away in his desk.
Homer, at upon seeing that situation with Rory, seems to relax a little bit, still bouncing, still tapping, but chuckles a little bit, signs the piece of paper in a chicken scratchy looking kind of handwriting, and attempts to pocket the pen.
Charlie won't say anything. He'll just let you take it.
All right.
Echo signs it in very beautiful handwriting.
He'll take both of your packets. Gurn?
Gurns looks like a 6-year-old signed it.
All right. Very good. Now for the second round of paperwork I need you all to look at. These you don't need to sign tonight. You're welcome to take them with you. I know it's been a long night for all of us, and this is something that I'm sure Tyriad would like to speak with you about, and that you'll probably have questions for him about as well. This is a job offer for you, from the real department, as it were. And I am showing that to you all now as well.
A job offer.
And
Yep.
a job offer?
I'm
So, assuming that you all want to get out of here, and frankly, even if you don't, um, this is more or less your best bet. The real department is the group that is trying to figure out how to lift the veil. So, by helping them, you would be expediting your own trips home. And if that's not enough of a motivation for you, then as far as I'm aware, they pay fairly well as well. Again, if you have questions, you can speak to Mr. Shadowbane about it. This isn't really my department, I'm just giving you the paperwork.
She starts reading through it, and as she's reading, she goes, "So I'm assuming we're not the only ones who've found ourselves in this situation, right?"
Not the first, no.
Do you offer jobs to everyone?
Oh, gods, no.
Then why us?
He shrugs. Orders from up top. I don't ask questions. They don't pay me enough for that.
On hearing that conversation with Echo, Rory also inquires, what guarantees that we speed up our getting home being in this job?
I mean, I can't guarantee anything, but if anyone's going to figure out how to do it, it's going to be the real department. And they want your help for some reason, so...
Uh, Rory wants to say something, but he looks to the others to see if anyone else is thinking what he's thinking. Nothing.
Do I get free guns?
Did you say, do you get free guns?
Yep.
Charlie will give a shrug. Probably. As far as I know, they're bringing back weird items from the rifts all the time, so...
Your son is here.
My son. Journal shrug in silence.
Alright. That expedites things.
Is there anything shady about this?
Other than the fact that it does sound like you could potentially be putting yourself in danger. A lot of it you probably wouldn't really be able to understand because it's speaking about dimensional rifts and time dilations and whatnot. Going over the potential situations that you could be putting yourself in. But
What-
nothing overtly shady.
She leans on the desk towards the dude. This sounds like we're gonna be put in danger.
That's something that you'd have to talk to Mr. Shadowbane about. I don't know the exact parameters of what they'll be expecting of you. As far as I know, this is a very general blanket statement of everything that the real department could potentially be covering. That's not to say that you'll necessarily be doing all of it, just that it's a potential.
And by Mr. Shadowbane,
Tyriad, the one who brought you in.
oh, joy.
I mean, being in danger for me is just another day that ends in A, so.
There's, as Rory glances through one part of the document, there's one thing that concerns me a bit. I'm waiting and seeing if anyone else saw the concerning part.
Echo would have seen it, probably. I don't know what you're talking about, though, because I have not read this.
There's Rory sighs. Okay, so there's a part where something of a mission where we may, I guess, I don't know if it's death, but I mean, it involves being resurrected or being put in a new identity. Memory restoration services. I have concerns, but is everyone else okay with that?
No. Which is why I'm not signing it right now.
I agree with Echo. I can't sign this either.
Homer, like in kind of listening in this conversation, definitely has once again grown more visibly agitated, and he changes his posture to something more defensive, and he says, "Okay, could deal with the pretty forest, and the clean water, and the nice smelling place, but now you're asking me to get a job? We haven't had jobs where I come from since the 2030s. The fuck you're talking? What? Like, this housing shit sounds all nice, but they always gotta get you. You always gotta do something for the bigger man in order to get somewhere where you can live. You know what I gotta say?" He kind of takes the paper and, kind of tosses on the floor. "All I can say about this fucking world is it ain't no heaven. Fuck you and fuck your stupid job, man." He stands up like he's going to leave. Looks like he gets dizzy and kind of ungracefully collapses back in his chair. And with a hand to his head now, with the energy leaving him, he says, shit, yeah, whatever these motherfuckers said, I'm not signing this shit."
Well, to be clear, the housing is provided for you. You don't. None of that's contingent on you accepting this.
He perks up at that.
I mean, you're all welcome to wait and speak with Mr. Shadowbane about this. It's really not my department. I can't answer most of your questions. I don't know what they do in the real department beyond the basics, so...
Echo will look at Homer and go, as she grabs the papers back up and go, "Don't worry. I'll talk to that person and I'll get the straight story."
Homer doesn't say anything response, but he gives ever so slightest smile at the turn of his lips and then goes to hold his head and his hands in his lap.
Ori glances over to Homer. Can I cast a healing sacrifice spell? I don't know if he's injured, but it could help.
You're welcome to try.
Which one? What door do I? One of the thing is that uses what's it called? Hemocraft dice, and then I use what dice do I use for this?
Well, are you going to cast it?
Yeah, I'm trying to, and yeah, I
And
want
what
to
is it?
cast it.
Which one are you using?
Healing sacrifice. Yeah. So I know we just got healed, but
One roll of your Hemocraft dice plus Hemocraft modifier. I always forget what.
yeah, I forget which one that uses.
Alex, do you remember?
I should
Any
just make
chance?
a note for that. What
Yeah, I
uses?
was gonna say we'll write it down, but
Yeah.
The Hemocraft deck should be on the Blood Hunter page.
yeah, I gotta pull that up.
Let's pull up Blood Hunter base then. Do-do-do-do-dum.
Do healing spells do anything for addiction withdrawals?
Unless you take actual damage, no.
But Rory doesn't know that, so he's gonna
True.
try.
True. Yeah. For sure. I was just curious to double checking.
Regardless, as we try to figure this out, as you go to cast, you'll feel your magic kind of fizzle at your fingertips. And you'll see the guy with you um give you a bit of an apologetic look. Oh, my apologies, that won't work in here.
That explains why nothing's working when I tried casting it. I mean, what? Rory just looks down. Guess he got caught.
Where the fuck is the dice noted? Oh, here it is. You're level 3, so for now it's a 1d6.
No, I'm just gonna put a 1d6 on the bottom so I know what dice it is.
Yes. That'll go up at level 5 for you.
Boop. There, I marked it on the bottom. What do I do with that one?
Good. Well, unless you all have any other questions, that's all I needed you for. Unless any more of you want to sign tonight.
Gurn, are you the only one who signed out of the four of us? Rory inquires, looking at Gurn.
I guess I am.
Oh. Any reason why?
Got nothing else to do.
Oh. Okay then.
Like I said, no stranger to danger. No. I can get paid to do it. Might as well.
Hmm. Rory looks around. Echo, do you have more reservations too, besides the resurrection part?
Just the amount of danger. A lot of this I don't really understand.
It is a lot of sci-fi mumbo jumbo, it feels like.
What is
That's the real
sci-fi?
department for you.
Oh, um, it's, how do I explain this? Roy like twiddles his thumbs. It's like magic, but not. It, Roy just stumbles over his words. I can't explain it. It's a made up term. I'm sorry.
Oh. Why would you make that up as a term?
I need something to explain things I don't understand. And Roy just kind of hunches back more. just don't mind me. I'm
Well, if you've all come to your conclusions, then you're welcome to go. Benny will show you to your new home.
Who's Benny?
The man who walked the three of you, from my understanding, and he gestures to everyone but Echo. He's still waiting out in the foyer for you, so.
Rory whispers to Homer, Did you know there was another person with us when we walked in?
Homer's head is still in his hands. He mumbles something unintelligible back to you.
After you guys got to the actual city from the forest, Tyriad swapped you guys over to that guy to bring you here when he went back for Echo. So he brought you from the city wall to the actual like courthouse that you're in now.
Rory's trying to remember. I think he was too lost in his head to remember that happening. He just followed everyone else.
Yep.
Ooh, I feel bad now. I didn't know there was another person.
Just somehow ended up here.
I followed the lizard. I followed Gurn and
The lizard.
Homer. I gotta get used to that. I'm so sorry, Gurn. And
Trying to stare at you.
I'm gonna go out the door now. So Rory walks toward the door to leave.
Well, hope you all get settled. Good night. He'll give you all a polite wave.
Echo gives him a wink
Um,
and leaves.
Does she shash Jay away?
Oh yeah.
Good.
Homer, in response, kind of removes his head from his hands, stands up unsteadily, using the chair for support, and hobbles after Rory towards the door, not acknowledging the person he spoke to.
The guy who guided you here, as you all walk out, will give you a bit of a nod. Ready to go then?
Rory looks at him and sheepishly nods, hoping he doesn't realize he didn't know who he was.
You'll see him take a small piece of paper out of his pocket, look at something, kind of give a bit of a nod, and then, all right, follow me. Not a long walk, and he'll lead you all out. If you all follow,
Homer, before they start walking away, Homer would ask in a disgruntled voice. He says, "Hey, Ben, Benny, is it right? Right?
Yep, that's me.
Do you have the directions to the nearest bar, please?"
Nothing in the southern quarter is going to be open this time of night. Probably be some booze in your house, though. They usually leave them stocked up.
He has a look of relief and nods as a thanks.
You all step out into the night, and as you do, Echo, you are suddenly overcome with a wave of deja vu. Feeling like you've been here before, and in your mind's eye, you get the vivid memory of a pair of glowing golden eyes. Just as quickly as it comes, it fades, and you're standing back in the plaza. And Benny will lead you all off.
Can she do a perception check?
Sure.
Just
What are you
to
looking for?
anything that looks weird. Like
Go for it.
never mind. Jesus Christ.
You're confused.
What? Okay.
After about probably let's see, let me look at the map. Remind myself how far you guys are exactly. Yeah, after about like a 15, maybe 20 at most minute walk, you'll come up on small house, in sort of a, city street style, like a walk up. And he'll hand each of you a small keyring with 2 keys on it each. And they'll go, well, this is your place, and this is where we part. Have a good night. Get settled in. Sure you'll have more tomorrow.
Rory looks at the man, looks at the group, looks at the house. Wait a minute. We're living in the same house together?
Huh.
Oh, they only gave me one address.
I call dibs on the biggest room.
Gurn just
I
takes
mean-
the key and walks in.
I mean, not. I'm sure you all are fine people, but like, Rory stammers, trying to say something. Can I just get a room that's not near anybody? I guess.
As you all walk in, here's your new house. For those of you who can see the map at least.
Echo walks in, looks at all the rooms, looks at the biggest room, sees the second bed, goes, oh, this won't do. She casts a spell, and y'all just hear furniture moving, and like an unseen thing just pushing the second bed of that of the bigger room out into the hallway.
Gurn will take the first room he sees.
Rory looks to Homer. Homer, do you want the last room? I could just sleeps somewhere else in the house.
Homer, who looked a little worse than he did in the office, grunts a non-committal response and walks over to the couch near the dining table and flops onto it face down.
I guess I'm taking the last room then. And Rory saunters over to the middle room.
To be clear, there's a bed in the hallway now. Homer.
He heads towards the couch anyways.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Is the bed just like next to the door in the hallway? That's like against the wall. Is that where that is?
Like over here, probably.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah.
Yep. All right.
Just gonna move myself there for now.
All right.
Can Roar-
Oh, sorry.
Oh.
Go ahead.
Am I allowed to do another, not an insight check, what's it called? A perception check, I
Sure, what
guess.
you looking for?
Looking for any hidden compartments, if that makes sense. I don't even know if that's a perception check, but anything that seems off and someplace I could hide things.
Do investigation.
Ooh, investigation. That would make more sense. So, boop. I
Damn.
don't know what that means in this regard.
I mean, there's no like secrets. There is a chest in each room that can lock. But yeah, I mean, you're each given a desk. Well, theoretically, you'd each be given a desk, a bookshelf, and a chest for personal use.
Except one person is just not sharing a room.
Yep.
Like they just their bed is outside. I guess. How is there no hidden compartments anywhere? The chest will have to do for now. As Rory tries to look through his chest to see if he could create a hiding spot in there.
Probably could like put some stuff in there and hide something under it or whatever. I don't know.
That's the plan.
Anybody doing anything else tonight? Or are we all going to sleep?
Echo will sing.
All right.
She'll be by the window looking out singing.
All right.
I don't know
Rory's
if
gonna
anybody
go
listens in.
check. Rory's gonna go check the bathroom. That's interesting. I think that's a bathtub.
There's a bathtub. There's a
There's-
linen closet. There's a toilet.
I thought that was just a bucket.
Well, they didn't have any toilet icons in the map.
I mean, a bucket
Was he
works.
saying-
Yeah, I mean, a bucket
it's
works.
it's a modern toilet.
Okay, I was gonna say like I thought
Would
I was
Echo,
gonna complain that we just had a bucket for a bathroom.
would
but
Echo know what a
it-
toilet is?
Probably not really. Gotta look up when toilets were invented.
Oh,
Rory sighs relief. At least there's a toilet. That's reassuring. And sinks and a mirror. And Rory sees how
Oh yeah, Echo, you probably would actually.
oh, okay.
They became popularized in the late 1700s.
Cool.
So.
Rory
Sorry, go ahead.
sees how battered up he looks. He
Pretty beat up.
contemplates taking a bath, as he just remembered he was hiding in trash. So he's gonna go take a bath.
Nice.
So Rory strips down and goes into the bath to just clear his mind for a bit.
There would also be like a shower head as well. Like
But
as part
he's
of the
taking a bath to relax from everything.
for sure. Just for the sake of clarity, it's a fairly modern bathroom. It's just hard to get that across with the icons that they offer.
Oh no, that's fine.
Is it still evening?
It's like 3 in the morning.
Okay.
Hey, baby. Yo, baby.
Gurna instantly passed out.
Good.
On the floor?
No,
Oh,
I
on the bed.
picked whatever room he first saw.
Oh, okay.
I moved your icon into the room, but you were just kind of standing in the middle of it.
Oh, okay.
I also just realized I didn't line the grid up to this properly, so I'll have to fix that next time. But whatever.
Sparksy, is Echo singing still?
Yes.
Rory could hear faint music somewhere, and it lulls him into a deep slumber in the bathtub.
Ooh.
Roll a d100 for me.
Oh,
Yes,
God.
please.
Rory just dies from drowning.
D100, just click the D100 everyone, right?
Yep. Yeah, you're
That's
fine.
not too bad, right?
Yeah, you're fine.
It's okay. Let's see. How long do I want to keep him in this bathtub for a bit? Okay. Oh, I didn't realize I'm still injured.
You guys are about to take a long rest, so speaking
That's
of
fine,
which,
yeah.
you can all give yourself a long rest at this point, unless anyone wants to do much more tonight. But
Nope. Rory's just gonna get out of the bathroom and pick up his clothes and head to his room to. How do I do a long rest button?
can you do that automatically?
Yeah. If you go down under characteristics, under flaws, there should be a short rest and a long rest button. Hit long rest.
Hit long rest.
Yeah.
I don't
There
know
we
how much
go.
it'll automatically do for you though.
Did the health, which is the important part.
It did my spells.
It also did, yeah. It redid my blood maledict. So
Cool.
woohoo!
So Homer Blum is having like a fitful poor quality rest. He's tossing, he's turning, he's sweating, he's not fully asleep. Should
Alright.
I still do a long rest or a short rest?
You can do a long rest just because you'll be able to like rest more tomorrow,
Okay,
so it doesn't really matter.
sweet.
Alright. Well, the night passes uneventfully. Every hour you can all hear the faint, pretty close, not crazy close, but you can hear it clearly, the chiming of the clock tower each hour. Sun comes up probably around, well, yeah, sun comes up. I don't know what time y'all want to start getting up.
Echo would probably be the first to get up, and she will be in the kitchen. She will have her. Come on, Atlas. Come on. Sorry, he's in my way.
Our son.
Yes, our son. She will have her unseen servant, like helping her. Like cook but she's gonna cook breakfast for everybody.
Cool. Yeah, you'll find a pretty fully stocked pantry, all your basic staples, your like shelf stable stuff that they could just sort of have in there, along with some for limited fresh produce that you could tell someone would have brought by recently, when they found out you guys were coming. There is a fridge sort of back in the back, this thing, the cabinet here is
Mhm.
actually a fridge.
Okay.
So yeah.
Upon hearing movement and noise, Rory jolts out of bed, puts on the same clothes he wore last night, and walks into the living room. He yawns, asking, "Who's up? What's going on?"
I'm here, darling.
"Oh, Echo, why are you up so early?"
Can't sleep.
"That's understandable. Do you happen to know where we should wash our clothes? I took a bath last night, but I just realized I put on my dirty clothes again."
Is there like a place to wash
There
clothes?
probably would be like a wash basin and like drying rack, ironing board, all that stuff. Like probably tucked away in like the linen closet or something for use.
She will tell him that.
Oh, well, I'm gonna go wash my clothes then, so I could wear them.
Oh,
Please
no,
don't
no,
walk in
no.
the bath.
Here,
Please
here,
don't
here,
walk
here.
in the.
Come sit. Come sit. I have my servant to do that for you. Come on. Come.
But, 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 Echo, I don't have much clothes under here. I don't. No one needs to see me in my underwear around here.
Oh, I've seen plenty. Go ahead.
Rory's clothes begrudgingly gives them to Echo and sits on the chair trying to cover what he has.
Echo will give
Stern
it
will
to
walk
her.
out with no shirt on. And
No
just
shirt,
immediately
no
sit down and start eating.
Echo will give the clothes to her unseen servant, which the clothes just because I think it's invisible, it'll just
It is invisible, yep.
yeah, it'll just the clothes will float away.
But he's more worried about covering himself, so he just sits at the table trying to cover himself.
She will go over to Homer and lightly rub his back. Homer.
In response to the conversation stimulation, people being on the room, and Echo trying to comfort him, he will lift up. He's still on his stomach, by the way, on the couch. His hair is tousled. He's sweating really hard. He barely cranes his neck over to look up at the lady, and then he goes, "Move out of the," and he begins to throw up on the floor next to the couch.
Well, she's floating.
Projectiling.
She's floating anyway. She's like floating above the couch, but
Sweet. Okay, good. Yep, he pukes. It's projectile. And after he's done, he sort of wipes his mouth with his hand, lays his head back onto the couch, turns a little bit to facing her, and gives her a pitiful stare.
she'll go grab him a glass of water. Please do drink this.
Homer lifts a hand shakily for the water, brings it to his lips, takes a few sips, kind of sets it in the crook of the couch, and in a raspy, just threw up voice, asks, "Thank you, Echo." Uh, his hand kind of is brushing on the couch, repeatedly moving. Any chance you could grab me a little something stronger than this, please?
I will once you down that entire thing.
Homer rolls his eyes but says nothing in response. Grabs the water again, takes a few more sips.
Does he finish it or nah?
He's nursing it. He's taking a sec to nurse it for sure.
Tell me when you've got that finished, and I'll bring you what you want.
He nods at her appreciatively.
She will go back to the table.
Rory's been watching Gurn eat the food, and he really wants to dig in, but he's afraid to lift his hands off his lap.
Oh, darling, come on. We've
I'm
all
afraid that if
seen it.
What do you mean you've all seen it?
Not yours, but we know.
I mean,
Rory, I'm a
get-
whore, and all three of you are men.
Roy gets embarrassed. It's not that. It's well, I mean, it's not the front part I'm worried about. And just I don't want to lose my underwear too. I feel like if I move it, it's just gonna float away like my clothes.
Well, my servant isn't here, so why would it float away?
Those aren't haunted, right?
Those
My
aren't what?
clothes?
Those are not.
I don't think my clothes were haunted.
Of course not.
So it'll be okay
Yes,
to dig in.
yes, it'll be okay.
Rory slowly picks up the utensils and starts eating. Surprised, he blurts out, "Ooh, tasty." Better than what I've been eating lately.
I'm glad to hear it.
In response to this silly conversation, Homer gave a dry chuckle, and almost like this is the silliness of this conversation is encouraging him to actually fucking take care of himself. Oh my god. He polishes off the glass of water, gives it kind of a half-ass little wave in the air, and he says, "All right, I've done it. Please, can I have the strongest drink in this forsaken place, please?" He still has not.
Echo will float up, and she'll go and get that for him.
You'll find a case of about a dozen or so bottles of beer, and then a couple bottles of wine as well.
She goes for the wine. Pours him a glass and comes and brings it.
He nods appreciatively and then says, I really appreciate this, but I don't think we gotta be stingy here. Can you give me the whole bottle by chance? He cracks her a little smirk.
She gives him a look, crossing her arms. Finish that first.
Well, if you're opening a bottle this early, might as well split it.
Homer clicks his tongue and seems to be given just the slightest bit more energy. You motherfucker! Kind of taps his hand on the couch half-heartedly and says, Ah, I like you. A guy after my own heart. That's what I'm saying here.
At least come and eat.
Darling, I would. He kind of takes a sip of his wine. He says, I'm a little, what do they call it? Mutters to himself a minute, and then snaps his fingers and goes, couch locked. Couch locked. That's what they say. Takes another big glug of the wine glass. Probably, he eased his way in the sip. Now he's glugged a little bit. It's probably maybe half empty with that kind of sip he took, or sip.
I imagine, as all this is happening, her unseen servant is starting to clean up the puke.
Ooh. Roy looks over in the direction and sees the puke on the floor slowly disappearing. Does anyone else see that?
So the house is haunted.
It's not haunted. That's just my servant.
Your servant's a ghost?
No,
Oh,
he's
cool.
invisible.
Oh. Rory ponders for a bit. Was he here the entire time?
No, I have to cast a spell.
He sighs in relief. Oh, okay.
So your servant's haunted?
She just
Or
looks
they're
at Gurn.
haunting us?
It's a spell, Gurn.
Around this time, you will all hear a knock on the front door.
Wait, I still don't have clothes!
I'm sure whoever's out there has seen it too.
Rory panics. No, I'm not decent! Runs back to the room.
Echo will get the door.
You open the door, and what is standing in front of you is not who you may have expected, and is instead a little bird guy. Well, I say little. He's about the same height as you, Echo. And also by bird,
Not little.
he's kind of more of like a pterodactyl looking kind of character. He's got a beak, but it's got teeth. No wings, feathers on at least most of his head. He's wearing a sort of like black bomber jacket style thing with a legally distinct Red Cross on it. Not the Red Cross, because that's against the Geneva Convention. But, it's close enough to denote.
Legally distinct. It's not the Red Cross, but it could be equated to it, but
Yeah,
it's not.
You can tell, he's in the medical services.
Yes.
As you open the door, he'll give you a nod. Morning. Heard there was a drug addict here. Needs my help.
Sure. Come on in. She'll
Name's
lead
Dr.
him.
Martin Taff. Pleasure to make your
She'll.
He'll kind of just let himself in. As
She'll.
you say that.
Yeah. she will give him a handshake and then lead him in. Atlas, I
He'll
swear to
look
fuck.
around. Huh?
Atlas is being bad.
Uh-oh.
No.
Naughty.
Come here.
He'll walk in, kind of look around. Eyes land on Homer on the couch. He'll give a bit of a nod, walk over. So it's you, huh? Got any
Homer,
draws?
in response to this, he polishes off about the half wine he has. He kind of sits up a little on shaky elbows and he says, "All right, first of all, buddy, preferred person centered language, so you can fuck off with the drug addict shit. I'm a person who's addicted to drugs. All right." He kind of gives a little bit of sass in his sorry state. Second of all, I don't know what the fuck you could possibly do for me. I've been doing this shit since you were in diapers. Bird kid. He kind of shrugs his shoulder, unable to really determine the age of the being in front of him.
As you talk, he is rifling through a briefcase. Uh-huh. Here, take one of these, and he'll hand you a bottle of pills.
Whew! Whew! Okay. Sir, my bad. Thank you very much. He downs the whole bottle of pills.
Okay.
Oh, Rory yells in the room. Who is at the door? Is it okay to come out?
It's okay to come out, Rory.
Can I have my clothes back?
They're hanging to dry.
So not yet. That's okay. I'll stay in the room.
Damn it.
As you swallow the bottle of pills, he'll sigh, roll his eyes. Those are expensive, and that won't do anything for you. Please just take one in the future, alright?
Yeah, whatever you say, buddy. Moderation, whatever. Kind of waves his hand in the air at him, almost like he's dismissing him.
He'll look around, eyes landing on Echo. Are you responsible?
Depends on what you mean by responsible.
He'll hold up another bottle. Can you make sure he takes 2 of these a day?
Oh, am I his caretaker now?
Will you be?
How much you paying?
I'm not.
Give him to me.
He'll gently toss him to you.
She'll catch him. Probably.
That'll help with the hangover. You got anything else on you? Anything you brought into the city?
Like, fuck, I'm telling you. What are you, fucking cop?
Well, no, but if you give it to me, then you won't get arrested if you get caught with them.
Man. I think this place might have more similarities to my old world than I thought I did. How fast acting are those pills, Quill?
Take about 15 minutes to kick in.
All right. Is it like sudden he feels better, or is it like a gradual the symptoms decrease?
It'll be a little bit gradual, but noticeable.
All right. And kind of respond, and with his last kind of line, he's able to sit up a little bit more, almost quite in a sitting up position, but he's still kind of leaning on the cushions a little bit.
Do you have your pipe in your nose again at this point?
I would say yes. I have the pipe. I have the pipe in my nose still.
All right. He'll kind of look you over, reach back into his briefcase. Here, I know it's hard going cold turkey. This is the only shit that's legal in the Solar Court. Then he'll hand you a jar, within which you would recognize is weed. All I can offer you, so take it or leave it. But
Oh shit. Sorry, I have to look through my notes really fast.
I believe you said he didn't really.
Right. Yeah. That's what I'm looking for, just to confirm. I'm pretty sure. Okay, yeah. He takes the jar in his hands, looks at it, opens it up, smell it. He sighs angrily, throws up his other available hand. He's just like, "Thanks, man. Just green, yeah, whatever."
Well, that or nothing. So
Tell that to the voices in my head. He regardless of his shitty reaction, he plonks the, he goes, the pipe flies out of his nose into his lap, and he crushes up the weed between his finger and loads a bowl.
well, I'll be back to check on you in a week. The pills will keep the worst of your symptoms away, but I mean, it's not a miracle, so. You taking anything that'll actually kill you from not taking it, or?
I wish, buddy. I don't know if y'all got any, let's see. Tina? Black tar? White China? He kind of starts listing a list of lethal, illegal substances with vigor.
He'll kind of nod along. So is this a list of stuff you're taking, or are you asking me if we have that here?
Maybe both. Maybe neither. A little bit of everything, here and there. Yeah.
Well, the pills will keep you from dying, so I guess just keep me updated. Whatever.
He grunts in response.
Anybody else need any healing? Any medical attention?
Suddenly, an outburst comes out from Rory. What smells like dank plant?
Rory knows what weed is.
He doesn't know it's weed. He just knows it as a dank plant. That's what
Good,
it's called in this
good.
world. It's not weed. It's dank plant. It's
Good.
a smelly substance. That's all he knows it as. Wait, where, what? I'm confused.
You all good? I can leave? Tyrion had me up at 5 in the fucking morning to see you guys.
I don't. Oh, jeez. How is that here?
Huh?
You just everyone just hears Rory panicking in the other room.
Alright, be back next week then. Try not to. Well, whatever. Bye. He'll give you like a little salute, nodded echo, and then walk out.
Rory yells again. Is the guy gone? Is the person gone? Can I come out now?
Yes, darling. Come on.
Rory sheepishly opens the door. Can I have my clothes back? Please?
If you don't
No.
care that they're wet, they're in the bathroom.
Oh, but wet clothes equals wet nose. He saunters over by the table again, I guess. Chatting goes back to finish his food.
Hey Alex, could you do me a favor?
What's up?
In my RPG Notes app, should be on the homepage of my phone next to the Roll20 app.
Yep.
If you go into that, go into the Woodsbury, go into NPCs, find Martin Taff. Can you post the pictures that I have for him? You have to like take a screenshot of it because you can't resave them from the app, but so you guys have probably a couple more hours of just sort of hanging out.
Ooh, hanging out.
If anyone would like to do anything. Or y'all can just vibe.
I imagine at one point, Echo gives Rory a smile. And, she goes, Rory, can you hold something for me?
Depends on the thing.
She, she takes her head off and tosses it to you. Has anyone ever
Rory-
given you head?
Rory immediately screams and dodges, or tries to dodge. Can I roll for that? Actually, athletics, I think,
Sure.
or is it dexterity?
Um,
That dexterity or athletics?
either
Or dodging.
athletic or
Oh,
uh-oh.
Wait, who left? Oh,
Oh, he's back.
he's not dead.
or would that be acrobatics?
Either acrobatics or athletics is fine. Probably acrobatics, but yeah. Yeah, you dodge it. You dodge it very well.
It doesn't hit the floor. It just starts, it floats. But her head is like, it starts to spin a little bit. Just very slowly.
Echo, are you
During
okay?
gaming his gun at your head.
Echo, what? Are you okay? Your head, it's Rory starts freaking out.
I'm quite alright, dear.
How is what? Do I have to heal you?
No, I'm alright.
But your head's not attached to the body.
No,
Are you actually just the head? Is your body not real?
not quite. She takes her head and, like, sticks it back on her body.
I am also sorry for dodging your head. Instinct, you know?
I guess. And you, she turns to Gurn, need to stop pointing that thing at me.
Yes, by the way, an approximation of the guy that you just met is posted in art now.
Gurn, quick question. Where did the gun come from? I swear, you were just you didn't have a holster when you came to the table.
He pulled it out of his ass.
That was so fast.
First, I don't go anywhere without a gun.
Why are you so muffled?
He's eating food
Am I?
still, maybe?
Or
Oh,
a little bit,
Yeah.
yeah. Are you sure it's set to the headphone speaker?
Oh, it might be.
oh, that sounds better. Did you change something?
I sat up.
Oh, was that the doctor that you just posted?
Yes.
I don't know why I was thinking like he looks like Sauron from Marvel, but not, but like more pterodon, less crow, I guess.
Yeah,
So that makes more sense.
he's got like the teeth, but he's still
Yeah.
kind of like a bird.
Yeah. Also, his eyes are like in his beak. But that makes sense. That's fine.
Yeah, he's definitely not like an Aarakocra. He's a little just like fucked up looking, but
But Gurn so Gurn, you just have a gun on you at all times, huh? And I don't even see you have anywhere to put it. I guess.
Why would I not?
You know what? Fair. That is fair. I usually have my veil on me at all times, so that makes sense.
Anyway, second thing is the only stuff that can remove their head and keep talking is stuff in my nightmares. So
Do you have
either
nightmares?
I'm having
Gurn?
one right now, or I should pull this trigger.
uh-oh.
Echo, would you like to explain? I,
Um, she's gonna do the words of terror to Gurn.
Oh,
my God.
Pull that trigger, and I will definitely give you a nightmare. Um,
oh, sorry.
it's not. It's at the
No.
end of the features and traits.
Gurn, make a wisdom save. And that's against your spell save DC? Yes.
Damn.
Just barely makes it. So, Gurn, you don't know that she tried to do anything. I mean, you hear her, but you hear what she said, that's it. How you react to it is up to you.
So I heard nothing in my head.
Huh? You heard
I
what
heard
she
nothing.
said.
Right, but not in my head.
No, you didn't get... Yeah, you have no idea that she tried to, like, cast something at you. You just heard what she said.
Well, as long as you stay out of my head, I guess I don't need to pull the trigger. I start hearing whispers. I might have to.
Quill, I have the opportunity to do the funniest thing.
Oh, God.
She won't do that though.
Oh, look at that. You hear a knock from the door again.
Ah!
Someone else get it. I am not.
I'm not decent. Rory runs back to the room.
Gurn points his gun at the door.
Homer,
Remember. Oh, sorry.
sorry. Homer, has through this whole altercation, he's been polishing off his bowl. At the sound of the knock, would you say like 15 minutes has passed, Quill?
Yeah, at least. Probably longer, honestly. You guys have been hanging out. You've
Yeah.
been gradually feeling better. You still, like, you don't feel 100%, but you don't feel like you're dying.
Okay. Well, he was smoking, sitting up, and looking like a little bit more light on his eyes. At some point during that conversation, he went to get the bottle, and he's been nursing that whole bottle in his hand. At the knock of the door, he rises and, sparing uh, a maybe intrigued glance over at the Echo and Gurn at the table, goes over and opens the door, bottle and bowl in hand.
All right. You open the door, and Tyriad is standing there. Good morning. Sorry I'm a bit later than I had wanted to be.
Oh, he kind of, with bottle and bowl in hand, he kind of raises his arms up in the air. The twink! Good to see you, buddy. What's going on?
I'm here to speak with you about the job offer that was extended to you all last night, and I'm sure you have questions about her situation in general.
Homer's expression changes. It goes from kind of sardonic kind of joy to more reserved. The smile is kind of wiped off his face. And grunts. Ah, that's what you're here for. I thought you would be here to see me, but okay, whatever you say, buddy. He the door's open, but he kind of walks away from Tyrion, going in the direction of the bathroom.
He'll kind of awkwardly clear his throat and then let himself in. Heading over to the dining room table.
Mr. Gurn's still pointing his gun at the door.
Are you sitting at the table?
Yeah.
So you wouldn't be able to actually point it at the front door from there. You'd have to be pointing at like the entrance into the living room and dining room area. There is a bit of a wall.
Gotcha.
There is a
Okay, so in that general direction.
In that general direction, yep. I imagine Tyriad comes around the corner and kind of pauses for a second as he realizes there is now a gun being pointed at him. He'll kind of give you a bit of a nod and hesitantly continue walking into the room.
Gurn, you know that you cannot kill. If you kill, you cannot be in this fucking city.
Well, if you kill, you'll probably get arrested.
Well,
Is it killing if it's a nightmare?
ugh.
I hate to break it to you, buddy, but this is not a nightmare.
How do you explain
Right.
the floating head?
The what?
Echo chucks her head at him.
Oh, okay. That's
Gurn points the gun at the head again.
that's an interesting one.
She's
Rory
giving him
screams.
a Cheshire cat smile.
Rory screams from the other room. Who's at the door?
Come on out, Rory. She's not laughing, but I'm laughing.
Is it okay?
Yep, it's okay.
But I'm not decent.
You're okay.
What if
Gurn
it...
will, no matter how wet they still are, go over, grab the clothes, and then throw them at Rory.
They hit Rory with a plop. Hey! Oh, they are still wet. He begrudgingly puts them on and steps out. Their clothes look way bigger than they looked yesterday. Oh, that's embarrassing. Hi. Tyriad.
Morning. He'll kind of look you over and then with a passive prestidigitation dry your clothes off for you.
Oh, well, thank you. No, no, I won't get sick. I'm just gonna. I'll just go take a seat over here.
Oh, Rory. I'm sure this guy has seen more dick than a lot of us. There's nothing to be
mean-
afraid of.
I mean, it's not so much. Again, it's not the front that I'm worried about. It's anyway. To what we owe the pleasure, Mr. Tyriad. Wait, where's Homer?
What does he look like?
He just kind of frowns at you.
Where did Homer go?
And from the bathroom, you hear a cacophonous.
Never mind. I guess we know where he is.
Well,
While we wait for our final party member, I suppose you all must have a lot of questions.
Nope.
I have one, but it's more so concerning that the next document mentions resurrection and things that could happen to us shall we not finish whatever mission that is. So I'm concerned that whatever this job does can kill us. Is that a fact?
Well, it is a potential worst case scenario, but the purpose of that paragraph is to highlight the fact that should the worst come to pass, we do have means of ensuring that, well, at the very least, it isn't permanent.
But it mentioned also being put in a new identity. I can't. I don't know. I don't. That doesn't sound good.
That clause is a contingency that I can almost assure you will not happen to you, given what we'll have you be doing.
And what
that-
about? Oh, sorry.
That's more for our. Well, it's a contingency given the fact that we don't always know exactly what the excursion zones have in store for you. I shouldn't have let him write this. It's very, very, very highly unlikely that that would ever need to come to pass. And we have plenty of other options before it gets to that point, I can assure you.
My
Yeah,
last
that
question.
gives me
Ooh, go ahead, Gurn.
one question. Where can I find guns and or black powder and or lead to help me against those dangers?
We'll be providing you with some. You'll be finding more during the course of the job, and of course you're welcome to use whatever of your own payment you decide to purchase your own. You'll all
When
be
do we get
outfitted
paid?
with what you need. You'll be paid monthly, as well, you'll another aspect of the job that ideally I would like you all to be here for, but the job is only one night a month. There will be options for you to pick up other jobs as needed, particularly on the full and new moons. Well, particularly on the full moons. The new moons are your one required work night.
As long as I get a gun.
So the last part I'm concerned about is memory reconstruction.
Another
Does that happen?
contingency. We have never needed to do that. It's just allowing for the fact that we don't always know exactly what is in store in the excursion zones. Um, you may come across things that are beyond comprehension, and if something like that should happen and should affect you in a way that is hazardous to your health, then we have the ability to modify your memories in such a way that it, well, won't be an issue.
I see.
Define beyond your imagination.
Is he still holding Echo's head?
Who?
Tyriad.
Oh, he did not touch it.
Okay,
Oh.
just float near him.
It starts floating near Gur.
Well, I suppose that depends on where you come from and what your exact world has looked like and the things that you've already seen.
So am I expecting to fight something, say like a eyeball that is just a head with eye stalks that come off it?
Like a beholder?
Rory just stares at Gurn. I'm sorry, did you just talk about like a mind's eye?
Tyrion will kind of shrug. I mean, it's certainly a possibility.
All right. Now, can you please remove your head before I shoot it?
You wouldn't
Or
dare.
reattach your head. Get it away from me.
Well, bring it over.
Echo, doesn't that hurt when you remove the head?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Is pain an enigma?
Sure.
Gurn will just nudge her head with the barrel of his gun in her direction.
It starts lazily, like, going towards her. And then, like, as it, like, gets within her reach, she will, like, put it back on with a little, like, she'll readjust it, and then it's back on.
With that, there is a crash from the bathroom. It sounds like a breaking bottle. Shortly after that crash, Homer walks out of the bathroom with what sounds like
Hello?
The,
gives.
this,
Oh, you cut out for a bit there.
Oh, what was the?
Homer
with
walks
what
out of the
sounds like,
bathroom.
and then there's no sound.
Oh, what sounds like crinkling glass. He walks to the table, stumbling, and gives Tyred an unreadable look, and the rest of the group wiggling eyebrows, and sits at the chair across from Gurn with a flop. Pipe back in his.
Homer, what was that?
Oh, buddy, I don't know where you come from, but I come from a place where we gotta use everything we got. That glass bottle, excellent source of glass for a new pipe. I haven't had a bong in a really long time. I'm thinking about when I get into my pack and blow me a couple new pieces of glass. Why? You want one, buddy?
Rory looks towards the bathroom, wondering if the mirror is shattered. I'm good, Homer.
Did you drink that whole bottle?
Mm. Oh yeah. he says with a mischievous smile on his face. But I can go
Grin
get you
just,
another one just for
it's
you,
like
bud.
Grin just mutters, didn't even share the fucking bottle.
You buy your own
Oh.
booze.
All right. Buy. Yeah, sure. I'll buy my own booze. Whatever you say, lady.
Speaking of money, about the job.
I have a question of my own.
Go on.
I asked the person yesterday if everybody who is brought to this place gets a job. And they said no. Why us?
Well, we have people coming in quite often. Not all of them meet the skill sets that we're looking for. Every month we get people from all sorts of different walks of life. Some children, some elderly, infirm in other ways. You four have abilities that can actually help us with what we're trying to do. So that is why I'm extending the offer to you.
Roy's confused at that statement.
Can I insight him?
Go for it. He's not lying, but you get the feeling that that might not be the entire answer.
Were you saying something, Soul?
Roy, Roy wants to ask Tyriad, I'm sorry, how much of our abilities do you know?
Well, I was able to see you fight. You all held your own fairly well.
And what aren't you telling us?
Yeah, I wasn't even aware Echo was still there.
To be completely honest, I don't entirely know. This was not my decision. But my best guess after seeing you all fight is that you all have some unique skills that will come in useful. And I know that you all, perhaps with some exceptions, and he'll kind of glance at Homer, I know that you all want to get home, and some more than others, but this is, I can assure you, your best chance at doing so, as well as giving you access to resources that you wouldn't have otherwise.
What kind of resources?
Let's go over what you'll actually be doing for your job, alright? Then I can perhaps answer you in a way that will make sense. What we want you for is to delve into areas known as excursion zones. They happen once a month, on the new moon, so the next one will be in about 2 weeks. What happens is, in the same way that the city pulled you into this dimension, on the new moons, the dimension flares outward and it ties itself to other realms, creating a fucked up sort of twisted facsimile of whatever it is it lands on. We need a team to go
Stop.
in.
What's a facsimile?
Oh,
A copy.
Got it.
What we're looking for is a team to go in, find the anchor keeping these excursion zones in existence, and putting an end to them. Anything you find and bring back, as long as they aren't under the contraband laws, which, to be completely honest, rarely are, as we are the ones who more or less decide that, you'll be able to keep. That includes weapons, objects, items. The rare
Rory-
case you happen to find gold.
Rory perks up at at hearing that. He bursts out. Question: what if one of those places that is similar is from our world or one of our worlds? Does that mean there's a chance that it could bring us back home if we are there?
Unfortunately not. The excursion zones aren't direct ties to the actual worlds, they're just shadows of them.
But you said that we could find objects from that world in them, then we could bring them home. How does that work?
As far as we've discovered, objects can come back. The people, or what may seem like people, shadows of people that you may encounter there, they can't survive crossing into the actual pocket dimension. They're just facades, just a sort of mocking of whatever was in the zone that the anchor is tied to. Unfortunately, we have discovered that staying in the zone after the anchor is destroyed is more or less a death sentence. That's and to not scare you away too much, we do have means of pulling you out. Unless you, for some reason, decide to and remove our protections, that won't be a concern for you specifically. But
Oh, Rory looks down and dejected.
But the good news is that these excursion zones do allow us to study the nature of the dimension that we're in. What we're hoping, and if it should come to pass that one of you happens to find a zone that's similar or tied to the worlds that you come from, we may be able to figure out how the city is latching onto them, and using that as our best guess at how we might be able to start getting people out of here.
So what you're saying is the zones might be same to or similar to something that we might know, but the people won't be.
No, there's no real people in them. You might encounter
So the
things that
people could
seem like
be the people could be purple beings that have squid-like faces.
potentially, I suppose.
Sorry, I just started thinking about one-eyed, one-horned flying
Right.
people eaters. Don't mind me.
And this'll get us back quicker.
It'll certainly be quicker with your help. I can't guarantee a time frame, but it's your best shot.
And what happens on the outside to our worlds?
We
Echo
don't know.
brings up a good point.
We have no idea what's going on outside of Woodsbury.
So you mean she's gonna be alone?
That
There is a
means there's
potential, given that we do seem to be completely removed from space-time and the rest of reality, that there is basically no change, and when you do return, you may return in the exact instance that you disappeared. We don't know.
Rory looks up at when that statement. Echo, I think that actually might be what happens. Whoever you're thinking about, they might be okay. If what Tyriad is saying is fact, if we were removed and moved to another dimension, there's no guarantee that it's not, but there's at least a very high chance that time's not moving for them, but it's moving for us.
It's one of many possibilities.
And am I gonna be an old lady when I get to go back?
Well, I
Well-
wouldn't think so if I'm assuming what the possibility is.
If what you're concerned about is aging, you don't need to worry about it.
There was a
Doesn't move in that way here. None of you will age while you're in the city.
there's the theory that was used in entertainment back in my world that when something like this happens to people, when they go back home, time never moved. So our experiences are different, but time didn't move for everyone else. I'm hoping that's what he means is gonna happen if we help him here. That means there's a chance that things will be where we pick up, but we have new knowledge. Is my right, Mr. Tyriad?
Like I said, it's one of many possibilities.
It's better than nothing I got. Maybe I could find what I need here and work on and I'll fix what I need over there. Where can I sign? If it's a chance, it's a chance. I gotta take it.
He'll, out of his cloak, take the same packets that you were offered last night, and he'll slide them to you.
I use a pen, right? No blood?
He'll give you a pen as well, yeah.
Echo, I know it's a far-fetched thing, but that is based off my world, that's a high chance that what he's saying is true, and that's the probability thing. I'm taking this chance. At least I know Gurn's taking it too, so it's not totally you know.
She stares at it for a while. And then she sighs really heavily and just quickly scrawls her name on the paper.
What about you, Homer? I mean, it's a job, but at least you now know 3 of us will be here with you on it. We could keep each other safeguarded, and this potentially could give us more skills for when we go back home, right?
And since the conversation about time and returning to the exact moment in time people left, Homer's expression has changed and to a more solemn look in response to Rory. Homer Bum gives kind of a slow, dark chuckle. Kid, you have no idea what I'm going back to now.
Well, there's always the potential for you to stay here if that's preferable to you.
Yeah. He kind of holds up his hand and looks at his fingernails. Does sound preferential, but first, he then points his hand and turns his attention to Tyrad. Job's a job, a job. Where I come from, for quite a few decades, we don't really got shit like that anymore. And I, personally, jacks his finger or his thumb towards himself, aren't really in sort of those things. So, I could do this with a few stipulations. Firstly, I don't want any goddamn money. But what I do want, he leans forward deviously, I do want a taste of some of that uh, magical drugs you want around. All I need, he puts his hands up pacifyingly. All I need is an address of a dealer, and I'll take care of the rest. No money, just that. Second,
Wouldn't you need money to buy them?
not where I come from, man. I don't I got my ways. Kind of shrugs.
You suck dick for it?
No
Homer
way.
looks.
I didn't think people actually do that.
Homer looks. Gives Echo a glare. No, not that. But I got my ways. Let's just leave it at that.
You shoot them?
Anyways,
Oh no, Echo, are you right?
Homer looks, ignores this, but throws another hardened glance towards Rory.
I mean, no judgment. It's way of living. You know, que sera, sera. You know,
No judgment here.
I wasn't aware people stood the favors like that. Anyway, continue.
He kind of throws up in his hairs, looking flustered. Anyways, secondly, if I die, and then his tone kind of changes to something hollow, but with a little twinge of sadness. I want to be done. No bringing me back. Especially not with another person. Might just turn out shitty anyways. I want to be done. For good.
You'll see, well, I guess, Echo, you would probably be the only one to really notice. For a second, you see Tyriad gets just a bit of a distant look in his eyes. And then he'll clear his throat. Well, I can agree to the second part of that. If you'd like a, fuck, what are they called? DNR?
Yeah, do not resuscitate the thing.
If you'd like a DNR clause, I can certainly add that into your contract for you.
Do not
The first part,
resurrect.
do not resurrect. The first part is unfortunately not something that I can do. Not for the fact that I wouldn't want to, although there is that. But, frankly, I don't have access to that sort of thing. Those drugs are, even in the parts of the city where they exist, highly regulated and not easily accessible.
He clicks his tongue, shakes his head.
I can work on some things, but I can't make any guarantees.
Well, that's what the last guy told me, and he came through. So I guess that'll be good enough. Thank you very much, Twink. He kind of pops his hand on the table and gets up to go get another bottle of booze.
So, are you happy to sign then?
He kind of stops in his tracks and turns around, and he's like, "Ah, shit. I got an old man brain over here. Yeah, let me do that for you real quick."
Much
Walks
appreciated.
back over and scratches the signature in.
Very good. Is there anything else from any of you?
Well, I already signed. Still in to back out now.
I already signed last night,
What are we
especially
supposed
on
to
the off
do?
chance,
Sorry, God.
especially on the off chance that I get to shoot something like a floating brain with tentacles and a bird beak.
Where are you getting these creatures, Gurren?
What?
Where are you getting these images? Roy looks at Gurren, very concerned, as the creatures are familiar but not familiar in his head. Have you encountered them before?
Anyway, so what guns do I get?
That I will have to get back to you on. I'll probably send Cyrus over, or I'll speak to him myself and bring you what he can offer.
So, it's one night a month.
That doesn't
Potentially
sound too
two.
bad. Still doesn't sound too bad.
What do we do for money? Other than that, what is the pay?
This is out of character. Pay I have to work out. But it'll be basically the equivalent of 2 weeks worth of supplies for you guys. That's if you choose to work the one night. If you work both, then the bare minimum for your whole month will be covered. Anything else you want to purchase outside of just basic essentials, you'll need to pick up the odd job for, or basically figure out on your own. The house is provided for free. You're also welcome to look into purchasing other properties if you should come to that.
I will do that.
You'll find job bulletins around town. You can offer easy odd jobs. As far as something more long term, you'll have to look. I can see if anywhere is hiring a more long term position. Frankly, those kinds of things are hard to find around here. Not much turnover, as you can imagine.
Oh, darling, I'm my own boss.
It can't be
Sounds
any
like you
different
should know
than what
about
I'm
them.
used to. I do odd jobs back home too, so how bad can they be? Right? They can't be that bad.
Well, you could certainly go look at the bulletin, see what's posted.
And I'm guessing doing these odd jobs will help us get experience with knowing how this world is, right?
Are you saying that in character, or
In character.
I suppose that's one way of putting it?
From the storage room where the booze is, Homer Bum calls out, "Hey, Gurn, still want a bottle, buddy?"
I'm alright.
He's gonna drink it all.
He did that with the last bottle, you know.
Kind of holds it up in the air triumphantly as he walks back into the living room. Damn right. Takes a seat again.
Like I said, it's your responsibility to get more. I'm not buying you more.
You're not my girlfriend, lady. I'm not expecting nothing from you.
So I'm guessing the food that's here now is only a one-time thing.
Yes.
Well, I'll go look at the job board later. We're gonna need food. We're gonna need food at some point, right?
I did this before, I can do it again. She more so mutters to herself.
Rory thinks to himself, it's like living on the streets before. You got this. Except now we have house, so we'll be fine. Be fine.
If you all find yourself in seriously dire straits, do get in contact with me. I can always pull some strings if absolutely necessary. Can't have you starving to death before your job starts.
I do have a question for you, Tyriad.
Hmm.
I'm assuming Gurn isn't about doing odd jobs, but does this town have a bounty hunter system?
Not on this side of the river.
Oh, sorry, Gurn. You look like a bounty hunter. I figured you'd like bounty hunting.
What do you mean on this side of the river?
No, I see Charlie neglected to give you the rundown.
Wait, there's a river?
Yes. Here. He'll, rifle through his cloak and pull out a map of the city for you all, which I can swap us back to briefly for reference. On the western side of the river is what's known as the Solar Court. That is what you have residency for. That is where you live. He'll point down towards the bottom. We're in the southern quarter, right about here currently. The eastern side of the river is the Lunar Court. Different government, different rules. Different people over there.
What do you mean by that?
The Lunar Court is much more accepting with who they allow to stay. The Solar Court is picky. They choose their residents rather carefully, and anything that doesn't abide by their aesthetic senses, well, the Lunar Court has a much higher population. There's more crime over there as such. As of right now, well, that reminds me. Since you've all signed your paperwork, I'll go back into his cloak again and pull out 4 pins. Don't know if I did not save that. Alex, can you post another picture for me?
Sure.
It should be saved to my camera roll. You might have to scroll back a bit, but it's the golden gear. He'll pull out 4 pins, which you'll all realize are identical to one that he himself is wearing. A sort of golden clock gear cogwheel kind of symbol, with a sort of diagonal stylized curve thing around it. He'll put them on the table, slide them over to you all. These will give you more access to the city than would normally be afforded to regular residents. As of right now, crossing the river, you may or may not have luck with that.
And what do you mean by that?
Well, most Solar Court residents aren't permitted to cross the river, unless you have specific business or a permit to do so.
And this is the eastern quarter, right?
We're in the west. We're currently in the southern quarter.
I don't want to sound ungrateful or anything. Because, I mean, we got a house for, but, I mean, have you seen us? I wanna. I mean, I don't want to be sound like ungrateful or presumptuous, but you've seen us, right?
None of you should encounter too much of an issue, but for those in the Solar Court who are more old-fashioned than some of their peers, these will also afford you some protection. They'll know that you work for me, and as such, they'll know not to fuck with you.
Oh, that's a bit reassuring, I guess.
And I imagine with the ever growing population, is there homeless?
In the Lunar Court, plenty. Unfortunately.
And is that the court that we can't
That's
enter?
Yeah, that's across the river.
Or he's a little saddened by that statement.
She gives him a really annoyed look.
Hey, out of character question. Quill, what did you call the little gold thingy that you gave our characters?
They're the real department logo pins.
Okay.
Ooh.
I don't.
Also, out of question.
Oh.
Question. Out of character question.
Mhm.
Does that mean we should put in the alliances section that we work for real?
Yes,
All
that
right.
would be smart.
Okie dokies.
I don't like being confined to this small area. And then being confined even more.
Well, unfortunately, I don't really have any control over that. I'm sure you can find your way into the Lunar Court if you try hard enough. Just try not to get in trouble.
I want to say Roy will remember that. Like a Telltale game.
Both Rory and Echo will remember that.
Oh, Homer will also definitely remember that, especially the part about the crime.
Gurn will totally forget that.
Gurn wasn't paying attention.
And if you're having such an issue with housing, why not expand into the Shimmerwood?
He'll give a bit of a dry laugh at that. There have been attempts. There are attempts in the Northern Quarter. But the Shimmerwood isn't like a normal forest. It is its own entity in a sense. It's dangerous. You saw a little bit of it last night. No one goes in there for anything. To get lost in there is a death sentence.
And yet somehow we were there last night.
Was an unfortunate spot for you to be brought in.
Mhm. Is there anything else we need to be aware of, Tyriad, Mr. Tyriad?
I'm sure there's plenty, but as of right now, nothing urgent comes to mind.
Hmm. Oh, I do have a follow-up question.
Hmm.
It's not a really big one, but if I wanna, let's say, peruse more blacksmithery weapons, where shall one go for those?
Oh boy, I wish I had my notes.
I don't know why you didn't just like change like
Alex needs my
Discords.
phone for the Roll20 app. We did change Discords, but he can't download Roll20 to his phone.
Oh,
Why?
fair enough.
Because apparently it doesn't work with the version of the what is it the version of your phone is too new for the app or some shit.
Yeah, they never updated the Roll20 app.
Oh, yeah. Some apps don't get updated right away.
I mean, you could probably use a Chrome tab. Somewhat.
Don't know how well that'll work.
On a phone, I don't know.
Alex, could you bring me my phone since we're probably not gonna be making you roll anymore tonight?
Yep.
Thank you.
Echo goes pee.
Oh, okay. Just like in the chair or
She goes to the bathroom.
Just in the middle of the conversation, just gets up and goes to the bathroom. I mean, that's real life for
Thank
you.
that's honestly like sounds like it would be in character for her a little bit.
Like,
All right. If you're looking for a blacksmith, the Iron Blossom in the Western Quarter will be your best bet. He'll gesture to a spot on your map in the Western Quarter.
and does the city care if we carry our weapons on us,
Not if you carry, no. Just
but don't brandish them? I'm guessing.
yes, without
See.
cause.
Oh, I mean, you never know. Sometimes people are just mean.
No one would blame you for defending yourself, but
Yeah, that's exactly why I was asking that. Um. Anyway, is there a place to get more clothes? I would like to have other options besides what I'm wearing right now.
there's a couple. I know there's one not far from here in the Southern Quarter. A bit more expensive. There's also your more sort of basic shop in the Western Quarter.
So, yeah, I need more money. I need monies first, is what you're saying. I really need to look at that job board later then.
After a large gulp from the wine bottle, Homer his drink in, and he's making already quite a little bit of dent in it again. He looks towards Tyra and asks, "All right, all right. I know we had that conversation earlier, and you said you can see what you can do. How about this? Could you point me in the direction, the neighborhood that has the most gunshots and the most uh disregard that last part. Just he says the most gunshots.
He'll kind of look at you for a second, sigh a bit. That'll be the Northern Quarter.
I mean, I can make it this one.
Please don't.
He chuckles.
Oh, Homer, that's across the river.
Huh. It is, isn't it? Oh. Well,
Echo comes back from
I'll
peeing.
have to figure out a way over then. What's the river got going on that separates us between the cooler place?
Well, there's a retaining wall that would be rather hard to get up. Aside from the fact that it would be a bit of a swim. It's not exactly a small river.
This map makes it seem like it's a small river.
So, the map. 1 second. I will. 1 second. I gotta remind myself of how big this actually is. The fuck? Here we go. Let's see. So this map is about 10 miles total from like top to bottom.
Oh.
The river is probably 200 or 300 feet across. So I mean, it's not unreasonable, but it's wide. It's wider than it looks.
It's really like wider than a regular pool.
Oh yeah.
Oh. Based off that description, yeah, this is a lot bigger than I thought. That changes things.
All right then. Okay. We got the river. How about the bridge? How about those bridges? What's going on there? What kind of security? What kind of folks? What kind of meanders are on those bridges?
Is he even
They're-
allowed to tell us that? Or are you fires?
Each of them is watched over by a small group of guards. Crossing into the lunar court probably be easier than getting back. They're rather strict with who they let enter the solar court. I would also recommend against trying to swim, as, again, if you're caught, it would not end well for you. Because at that point, it would be highly illegal entry, rather than just moderately.
Yeah. Illegal schmeagle. We don't got that kind of shit where I come back from anymore. I've said too much.
Please
Anyways,
do
thank
keep in
you.
mind that too much of a criminal record will void your residency and lose you the house, and make things much more complicated for me.
Well, we wouldn't want that now, would we?
I got you, buddy.
Like a collective, like, well, that's concerning, sort of thing.
Oh, any other questions? Anything I can do for you?
I'm sure if we have more later, you'll answer us, right, Mr. Tyrion?
Best of my ability.
What is the more hornier side?
Um,
She stares him down.
there are. You're probably looking for the northern quarter as well.
Hmm.
Rory stares at Echo for a second, wondering if she's actually asking what he thinks she's asking.
Her head snaps to Rory. Yes.
I want to ask a question,
And what is
but I
that?
think you might smack me with it for being impolite.
I would never smack you.
Well, I was told not to ask a lady this, but are you asking for a brothel?
That's exactly what I'm asking for.
Um, I mean, I understand you live with 3 guys, so like, as of right now, and I mean, I'm totally not interested in you, by the way. I mean, are, is there a reason besides rocking your socks off or something? Is that the phrase? Phrase.
It's
And,
my
and
it's what I know, darling.
oh, you know what? Fair enough. Tyriad, is there a library in this town, city, place?
Yes. You'd be looking for the Grand Archive. Um,
I figured if we're looking for
actually,
places of comfort, that that might help me. So,
it's not far from here. If you head southwest a bit, it's hard to miss. Biggest building in the southern ward.
oh,
And
and it has.
he'll mark it on your map for you.
Well, thank you, Tyrion. Knowledge is power, as they say.
Indeed.
They wouldn't happen to have blueprints of building structures there, would they?
Depending on what
I'm a,
exactly you're looking for, it may be in some of the restricted sections, but
I mean, I'm a fan of architecture. I like knowing the layout of places.
She's gonna
generally
insight
speaking,
that.
I'm sure they have some.
She's
Wait,
she's
who?
she's inciting you, Rory.
Ooh,
Damn.
what is that? What happens there? With
Uh,
numbers? I'm not sure.
you like if usually how we play it in our other game is like
Mhm.
like if we're inciting other players, the other player
Mhm.
decides what to give,
So
Oh,
like based
for
off
that kind
of.
of
Yeah, go ahead.
for between player and player, yeah. For this, since you're not assuming you're not explicitly lying, you just decide what she sees given a 13. Um,
okay.
the average is a 10. So
Okay.
something for any ability check, basically, a 10 is it's
The baseline.
kind of the baseline. Not
Okay.
really easy, not really hard.
Okay.
Um,
So
for
that's why I was like,
you,
yeah, I was wondering,
you'll
like, would she be seeing what? Does she see that I'm like inquiring, like keeping knowledge from something or something like that?
yeah, I mean, whatever. Your technically, I guess your passive deception would be a 12. So
Okay.
she'd have a slight edge on that. But again, if you're not explicitly lying, it's up to you how much information you want to give for that.
Okay, I see what you mean now. Echo? What? Did I say something weird?
Oh, it's nothing, darling.
I'm just saying, I really like learning about structures of buildings and the history of buildings. You know, knowledge that could be helpful down the line.
Hmm.
Just a thought. You're welcome to join me if you want to learn stuff with me.
Maybe one day.
Just letting you know ahead of time, I'm very thorough with my notes. Rory chuckles to himself for a bit.
Well, sir,
I just haven't, like, sort of. What time is it in the world now?
probably about noonish.
Okay. Man, we were talking to each other for like 6 hours, 7 hours.
Well, there was a bit of a time skip between Martin getting there and Tyriad getting there.
Oh, okay. I was like, damn, that's a long meeting about the job.
How long have we been
Orientation.
talking at this point?
Probably like half an hour or so, maybe a little
Okay.
bit longer.
Is that everything, Tyriad?
That's everything for me. If there's nothing else, then I should be on my way. He'll start like standing up. Give you all a nod. Well, glad to have you on the team. You'll be hearing from me again soon. Gurn, I will get you the information on the weapons. He'll give one final nod and then he'll make his leave.
Or he will just wave very slightly.
He'll give a little wave.
Yep.
Till next time, darling. She says that, but like she gives a little eye roll.
Is Tyriad out of earshot yet?
Yeah, you'll hear him close the front door and he's gone.
Okay. Question for all you, and please don't judge me, but does anyone else think we should have been in the lower quarter? Or the eastern quarter? Or is it just me?
Hell yes. Homer slams his his hand on the table emphatically.
I would rather be there, but these digs are pretty nice too. She would not say
Didn't
digs.
want-
This is a nice place. Wow.
These
She-
days are the street came out first.
Yeah.
I mean, Gurn, are you okay over here?
I don't think it matters to me one way or another.
I'm very grateful that he helped us, but at the same time, feel like the eastern side needs more help than this side, does it not?
It definitely needs more help.
I'm wondering if anything in the library will give us details about why. Maybe, maybe there's information about how people can get to the eastern side without getting caught. Just a hunch. The libraries like to keep secrets, and I'm pretty good at finding secrets.
Well, when you do,
Keep you guys informed.
yes, please.
Hey, if we're working together, we need to build that trust. So
Well,
I'm on it.
seeing as how you do have the same sort of motive that I might have, maybe we can help each other out in our endeavors.
If it's mutual, then I'm for it. But I also agree with you. Trust has to be earned. So
Speaking of endeavors, the bottle that Homer Bum has been nursing has had quite a chunk taken out of it now. He kind of, he means to lean forward, but he kind of more like slumps in a messy kind of way. And he brings up a finger to point at Echo. You and I want to get to a similar place here. I propose library, schmiberry, trust, wust. You and me, we can go over to that, he snaps his fingers, northern quarter. Right. We got things we gotta do. Me and you. Let's do it.
And what are you suggesting?
Well, you want to go see your brothel? I want to go to those corners.
Oh, darling. I don't want to see a brothel. I want to run it.
Oh, nice. Mad respect. I've had a few girlfriends in the past who dabble in that sort of stuff. All right. You treat. He kind of has a little more of a serious look. I really want to trust you on this, lady, but given the fact that you have an invisible, and he kind of spits this out, servant, I don't know if you should be the one here to touch that kind of work.
I'm
Rory?
sorry, what?
Rory looks over.
You got a slave, ma'am. Where
Rory.
I come from, that shit was tried and tried again and tried again, and now we got nothing anymore.
I don't mean to butt in, but I thought the servant is not actually a servant, but magical energy. Or it's actually a ghost, like Gurn thinks it is.
This. It's not a slave. It is essentially, as Rory says, it's a spell. It's not a being.
So it is just magical energy that you're controlling, basically.
Yes.
Homer kind of cocks his head at this, looks to the ceiling like he's thinking about it. Cobwebs slowly part way, it's the gears start to turn in his brain. You know, so wait. This is not a being, it's an extension of yourself?
In a way, yes.
Dude, he looks, a little like visibly embarrassed. But then takes another glug, chugs it off. He looked like he was gonna
Actually,
apologize.
as you
What's
as you go to pick the bottle back up, you find it's empty now.
Oh, well, he goes that like he's gonna go pick up the bottle, realize it's empty, places it back down, continues to look embarrassed, and he mutters out a very quiet, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to assume that of you. And gets up and walks away.
None taken.
I won't lie. Echo, Rory gestures. I'm surprised we have another spellcaster in our party.
And why is that?
The magic you use, well, in my homeworld, it's a very rare magic. It's more akin to how psychics use, though. So, it's usually those with very dramatic backgrounds have awakened that power. Not to and say that you've been traumatized, and just, it's impressive.
Traumatized.
I'm not saying you are or insinuating it. I mean, I don't know where you're from. It's hardships. It's a spell. It's magic ability that people get through hardships that make people stronger, and you cast it so easily, so it means you're mentally strong. What I'm trying to say.
Oh,
So
this doesn't. We differ in a lot of ways, I guess.
I was just trying to compliment you. I'm sorry if that came off weird.
No. She brings out her gramophone. And she plays it a little bit, and like she cranks the handle a little bit, and out comes Chill Step. Like, it's just basically Chill Step. Like, whatever. I use this for magic.
Oh, fascinating. It's like a conduit.
What's something that you want to see right now? Something easy.
Can you make flowers appear?
What kind?
Have you heard of a scarlet lily? It's just a red lily, basically.
She's going to cast Minor Illusion, and on the table, a vase with a red lily pops up.
So, that's amazing. They're real. At least you know what they are.
Well, I mean, this is only an illusion, darling.
Roy chuckles. No. It's the illusion part's not the fascinating part for me, but thank you. It's just I haven't seen these flowers in forever, so thank you.
No problem.
If you guys need me, I'm gonna go check out the job board. And Rory starts heading to the door to leave. Uh, he said the job board's not that far from here, right?
Mind if I come with you?
Hey, at least you can see what jobs are available, right?
Mm-hmm.
Pretty good at minor tasks and odd jobs, so yeah, feel free to join me. Homer, Gurn, do you guys want to join? We can make it a adventure. Sorry, that was cringe. I'm sorry.
Hey, Soul, I'm just curious, like, is your character like on the younger side, like in their early 20s or something?
He's pretending to be.
Does he look visibly like he's a younger person?
Because he's short and malnourished looking, yes.
Okay. Good to know.
Yeah, sorry, I tried to make it clear that he looks younger than he actually is, but I guess it
Okay.
didn't come off there. So
All right, word. Will, is there Homer Bum is kind of rustling in the back for more alcohol. Is there any more bottles?
You guys have gone through what, 2 bottles of wine?
Mhm.
There's probably one more bottle of wine, and then there's a case of about a dozen bottles of beer.
All right. He takes both.
The entire case, or
Yeah. He attempts to.
all right.
He takes both, and in response to Rory's comment, um, he kind of walks back into the dining room, and in kind of response to Rory's energy, Homer Bum kind of cracks a little bit of a smile, a soft smile, not a hard one, not a sarcastic one, but almost a little bit of a genuine child towards this visibly younger person, and says, "You know what, kid? Long as I can bring these, sure, let's do it."
Gurn, you want to join?
Got nothing better to do.
All right, to the job board. I don't know where it is. I'm just gonna wander and hope we find it.
All right. So as you leave your house, you'll see, pardon the AI generated image that I stole from the internet, but this is generally the vibe.
Oh,
Um, yeah, as you walk out, you're kind of on a intersection a bit, so you can head either right up the street, left down the street, or straight out across. Which way do you guys want to go?
oh, we're just awkwardly standing there. Aren't
I
we?
want to go in the sky. She's not standing there. She is like literally floating.
You can get
Oh.
20 feet.
Yeah. No, she won't
Uh,
fly like that.
Okay.
She'll just
I
she'll
mean,
she'll just lazily like spin in the
Hover.
air.
Echo, while you're up there, do you see anything that looks like a job board? I
Oh.
actually don't know where I'm going.
Okay, at this she will go up to 20 feet and look around.
All right, roll me a perception check. You don't see necessarily the board itself, but you can see if you head straight, there's a larger intersection with what looks like a small plaza where there seems to be a number of people hanging around. Not a lot, but like, a couple people. A few.
She lazily comes down and points out that direction.
So we should go straight, is what you're saying?
Sure.
Okay,
Seems to be the best
guess-
way.
I guess we're going straight, right? Anyone else objects?
We're going straight to the right.
Is that where it is, Echo?
I mean, it's maybe the best bet is that
Well,
way.
you said straight right, so
I said straight. Did I actually say straight right?
I don't know. That's why it's like, let's go that way then. Whatever what you said.
Homer Bum is kind of trailing behind the party, lazily drinking a beer in his hand. Could I, could Homer observe the environment? He is looking specifically for any kind of shady or quote unquote criminal behavior around.
Sure, roll a perception check.
Do I just press perception?
Should be under your spell list, yep. Yeah, you don't see anything. Honestly, there's not many people around, and the people you do are fairly uptight, looking, just normal dudes going about their days.
Homer sighs at this and picks up the pace a little bit to keep walking with the team of ragtag miscreants.
As you guys get to the plaza, you will see there is a bulletin board there. And as you approach, there's a couple postings, which are now posted in our new job board chat under the Woodsbury list.
Ooh.
And we can look over and talk about those, but I think we will have to leave it there for tonight as it is getting a little late.
Okay.
So if you guys want to think about it, maybe we can talk about it a little bit and pick up with that next session. And you guys can get your first job.
Oh, hey. There's one job that requires that looks at the library. So that sounds like a good one. I could go to the library then.
Yippee!
Yippee!
Hell yeah. Oh my god, guys. This group's gonna get so wholesome. I can feel it in my bones.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's very ragtag bonding, but I don't know how far it will go before someone breaks. I feel like someone's gonna break at some point.
My bet's on your character, Alex. He's too quiet.
as long as everyone stays out of his head.
I'm more worried that Alex is gonna see, because Sparksy has her illusion thing, whatever, and I don't think anyone knows that my character has a spell that uses a creature that just died in front of him as a thing. So I have not reason to use that yet, but it's there. So that one's a surprise for later.
I'm also slightly sad that nobody noticed.
Yeah. Homer, when you picked your bottle up and it was empty, it was because Gurn swiped it and finished it off.
Nice. Oh my god. Yeah,
I
I was
was
I
wondering
figured.
if that's what happened. Because I'm like, it was full, and I'm like, did Gurns
Yep.
take some? But I didn't want to call him out on it because Rory's been doing that a lot today.
18 sleight of hand check.
I was thinking I think my Homer Bum was thinking that like, oh, I
I
must have finished it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny.
That was
So-
so smooth.
Are you guys leaving the extra bed in the hallway, or are you gonna end up beding together?
I keep forgetting it's there. If I'm being honest,
Because like you two of you could share a room. Just saying.
according to Echo, no.
No.
Well, I mean, not her room, but like two other people, not her.
Well,
think-
Rory likes being secretive, so I don't think he's gonna share a room for
That's
now.
fair.
I think like possibly Homer could at one point share a room with somebody, but I think it was going to require more bonding and also like Homer to feel like just more comfortable being in the house because I imagine like he's drunk right now and was going through withdrawal, so it really hasn't hit him. But also, oh, fucking Soul, dude, it's super cool that your character's also been homeless before. I think our characters are gonna have a lot to bond over in that sense.
I was wondering, I was like, oh god, we had someone who grew up on the street, someone who's been homeless, someone who's done both, and then I'm like,
I don't think
does that
Gurn's
mean
ever had
Gurn
a home.
does? Jeez, oh, this could get really wholesome.
Aw, found
What about-
family who?
Wait, what about you, Jamie? What has your character been through? Did they grow up poor, homeless, anything like that? Never had a home?
When she found herself in a certain situation, she was homeless. So
Oh shit!
so going from that, she picked herself up by her bootstraps in a way. So you know, I won't
By
say
that, you
anything
mean-
else.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm actually glad that someone asked me how old is Rory, because I'm like, I'm making him seem like he's really young, and I'm hoping they're catching on that, because he is only 5 foot tall, so he's 5 foot tall and skinny and underweight. So I'm like, I'm
You're
hoping
still
people think
twice
he's
the height
young.
of Gurn.
Well,
Gurn
yes,
little.
I'm aware of that, but like, Gurn's a kobold, or in Rory's eyes, he's a a lizard. He's still getting used to it. but, but like, I want them to believe he's a child when he's not, or not a child, but like a young adult, really, really young adult.
I
So I'm hoping
love.
that they,
Sorry, go ahead.
what?
Go ahead.
I'm hoping that's the it's being conveyed that way at least.
I love the fact that Homer is seeing Rory as a kid, and like it's actually cute. It's so cute.
Yeah. I was actually talking to Quill about things that could make Homer grow in a positive direction, and because of his life experiences, somebody like Rory is going to be like one of those people that's going to be very beneficial because he doesn't have the best morals and he can be selfish and whatever, but with kids like he tends to have, or people he perceives as kids also, he doesn't know his own age, but he is actually like 61, so he just kind of, I don't know, he's just kind of protective of kids, and their enthusiasm does good for his mental health and stuff.
Mm.
The inner grandpa is there.
Exactly.
Aw.
It needs a reason to come out. My hope so far is that being around Echo and Homer will let Rory want to get rid of his secret personas, but we'll see.
I'm imagining, so Homer really like. I mean, like Gurn is pretty quiet, but he's really liking Gurn as a person. Maybe not until he finds out about the booze incident, if he ever does. I feel like
Yo, maybe it's just never known.
yeah, that's true. I kind of hope it does because he might, be a little shithead about that. Um, yeah. He likes Gurn a lot. Echo it's like conflicted because of the whole like work thing and also being nice to him too. Like Echo, I'd say like your character is very like endearing, in a way that like is good for him but makes him uncomfortable because it's almost like motherly.
I was actually surprised how Echo like took a maternal role, especially after the first night. I was like, so I was like, oh, Echo's warming up to everybody. That's interesting.
Yes.
But I'm like, there is hesitation. I was also like, I'm hoping like Sparky's picking up that Rory is trying to like find ways for them, for, like, to help them out without being like overtly help them out. You know.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so that's how you guys do the insight check. Oh, not insight, but like checks on each other. Because the way the other group I did it with, the DM like made the checks, not made the checks, but like he decided whether or not it failed or succeeded for everybody. So, and I was like, oh, I'm not sure how to compare the stats for both of us because I don't see your stats. So,
Right.
I mean, I might have input if I feel like, you're making an unfair call, but I feel like people are usually pretty good about like being a little, forthcoming with that sort of stuff.
fair enough.
If y'all ever end up actually fighting each other, that'll be another thing, because then it will be more just stat to stat, and that'll be more run by me. But yeah, for the
So,
intercharacter
like,
interactions, it's pretty loose.
okay, that's actually more because like I was waiting for you to make a call because I'm like I don't know if that succeeds or fails compared to my stats to hers. So, but that's so like we could based off the number we could just make the call then
Insight
ourselves.
is also a little weird because, again, unless you're specifically lying, in which case it would contest your deception stat, there's not
Oh,
really a
okay.
number for it to contest. So it's more just how difficult do you think he would be to read in that instant? Um, how well did they do that you think, like, how much information they would get?
That's why you asked me. Okay, that makes sense. As you asked me, like compared to your deception, because he was lying, but just not overtly lying.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, that makes sense. Good to know because I like that better than what other people have done.
It also means that because again, if I were to try to run it, I would basically just be PMing you or like messaging you of like, hey, like, what exactly are you? Not telling them like, what are
Mm,
you, and then having
yeah,
to figure out what of that role would have gotten, and it just becomes clunky. So,
it loses organic.
mhm,
Okay, gotcha,
definitely.
gotcha.
Oh, I love our characters. Ah.
I'm waiting for
Seriously.
the. I can't wait for the shenanigans. But I'm also nervous about. I really feel like something's gonna break, and there's gonna be dysfunction.
Also, what do you mean golden eyes? Ah! What do you mean?
I actually thought. I actually thought I was gonna drown in the bathtub. By the way, when I saw my number, I'm like, please tell me that is a pass.
No, I was gonna say if you rolled below a 25, you'd wake up choking on water, but
Okay.
Bruh.
no, you're good.
Dude, I was so close. Like, if you said you were gonna listen in, I was gonna sing for y'all.
Aww.
Aww.
But yeah.
I was tempted to listen in, but instead I'm like, she's gonna pass out to the song.
Yeah.
Warm
Because that
water
makes sense. Warm water plus like humming, like
plus 3 in the
okay.
morning.
Yeah,
Near
Yeah.
death
I hear.
experience.
I was also worried that someone was gonna try to go into the bathroom because I didn't. Because I was like, this house doesn't look like it locks doors.
They
So,
do. The bedrooms and the
oh,
bathroom have like just internal locks.
okay, I'm glad that that assumption was there because I'm like, someone tries to barge into the room, that's gonna be questionable conversation there.
Oh,
And also
another.
glad you guys humored. Hmm?
Oh, sorry. Another thing, Soul. Part of the reason why I was suspecting that your character might have been young, was also because of the modesty thing and like the asking Echo about like sex thing. Like immediately, like you already looked young, but then Homer was like, "Oh God, this is a teenager."
That's the okay. I'm glad. That's the point. He's doing that on purpose.
Mm.
Good.
I do like the idea of Tyriad walking in. One of you's half passed out on the couch. One of you's shirtless. One of you's soaking wet.
Oh my god.
And then there's
What-
Echo.
and
Never-
pointing the gun.
Kern never put a shirt on, by the way.
Good.
Wait, I'm gonna write that down in my notes. Gurn is shirtless.
Are you still shirtless going out for the day?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
I'm assuming so.
Good.
That morning scene just made me smile because I imagined it like Echo woke up first, and then she walked over to the kitchen, and then like like everything just happened after there. It's like then Rory comes in, still wearing the same clothes, trying asking to do laundry, then gets stripped down to his like underwear, and then just like the shirtless Gurn with his like just walks in nonchalantly, pops on the table, just starts digging in.
Yo,
That's just like imagine someone's at the head of the table covering themselves, someone's just digging in like nonchalantly. Echo trying to avoid the vomit. The Homer's doing. Oh, it's great. Great.
Oh, I love that Homer accused Echo of fuck. Sorry, that was loud. Thank you, Soul. I just
No worries. Sorry.
I forget what my subscribing notification is.
Was it Pedro?
It's
Or not
Pedro.
anymore?
But yeah. I just love that Homer was accusing her of owning a slave.
I know.
Oh, it's so good.
That one was like, oh, I wasn't expecting that accusation to come out.
Yo, as soon as you were talking about the invisible servant, I had written that down in my notes, and I was just like, this Homer guy is too much of a dumbass, and doesn't know anything about magic, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I had written down that you cast magic, but I wasn't aware that you also knew a spell like that. And my brain's like, I wrote next to it, I'm like, she knows the push spell from Golden Sun because that's what that looks like, or the move spell from Golden Sun. Because I'm like, I imagine that's what it looks like instead of like just just a hand of glowing energy. It just moves on its own.
It's not a hand of glowing energy. It's just like literally a shapeless, mindless thing.
Energy being thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Essentially. But that was so fucking funny. Oh. I can't wait for next
Other than that-
week.
Other than the brief question that Rory had, no one asked Kern, like, what the fuck are you describing?
Wait, what'd you say?
I said, other than
Well,
the question from Rory, like, once, no one was confused by how descriptive Kern was getting with the things he wanted to shoot.
I wrote it down. I'm like, why does he have so many descriptive, like, descriptions of creatures?
Tyria did make the comment for the first one of just like, are you talking about a beholder? What?
I did hear that, but I'm like, made it sound like a floating eyeball. So it can't, like, but and no tentacles. So I was like, but it did sound like a mind's eye enemy from another game. So I'm like, are you talking about a mind's eye thing?
Echo would have no fucking idea what those things are. So like, I don't know. I don't know if she'd
I was going off.
question it though, because yeah.
I was like, you're listing creatures that I feel like are fictional, exist somewhere. So I'm like, and Rory's from an Earth that would have something similar, but it's all fiction. So that's always like, what is this? Why do you know these things? But everyone brushed it off, so I'm like, okay, I guess they're used to this, I guess. Are we gonna find out why you know those things later, Alex?
Probably.
Ooh, exciting.
It'll most likely won't be until like we encounter something like it.
And you're already gonna know how to kill it. Maybe. Hopefully. Right?
Maybe.
Hey, Alex, for my notes, what were some of the creatures that was describing again?
There was the first one was essentially, yes, it was a beholder. Um, the second one was a purple like humanoid being with a squid like face.
I'm gonna say, was that a mind
Um,
flayer?
Oh, that's like a mind flayer
yeah,
then, right?
that's a mind player.
I was gonna have Tyrion
Um,
make a comment about that one because there are mind flayers here, but
and then the second
That's
or the
surprise
third one
player.
was a a brain with tentacles and a bird beak.
Isn't that like the thing from um oh my god. Never mind. I was gonna say, isn't that like the thing that followed that us creature from Baldur's Gate 3? But I'm not sure now. Or is that just a mother brain?
That could have been an intellect devourer,
Oh, okay.
which is kind of the same thing, but it doesn't have a bird beak.
Mm,
I'm gonna say I can
gotcha.
picture the character art for the creature that you're describing, but I don't remember what it was called.
Like I saw in my head, and I'm like, I'm not sure if that's what he's talking about.
No,
Did Gurn just say he wants to shoot these things or anything else?
yes,
Just that he wants to shoot
no,
them?
he just wants to shoot him.
Kind of
Okay.
concerning that you want to shoot a mind flayer.
Wait, that doesn't bode well for someone who shoots a mind flayer, doesn't it?
Well, more for the
No?
fact that there are non-hostile creatures like that in the city.
And so they're good mind flayers in this city, is what you're saying.
Mayhaps.
Not the mayhaps. But I mean, it's understandable. We're still early, so.
But yeah, the third one he described was called a grell,
That's
and they look a little bit strange, but also exactly how I described it.
Oh.
yeah.
How do I spell that?
Grell.
Sweet, thank you.
Like Growl from Black
It'll be in
Butler.
I was gonna say like Grell Sutcliffe.
the
Oh.
picture of it'll be in the art channel.
You get me.
I really want to draw that board, that thing.
Yeah.
No, I really want to draw the breakfast scene now.
That was really cute.
Do it. Do it, please.
God, I have to get the perspective right, but I'll attempt it. I kind of want to make Gurren look like a happy little goober at the table, just eating away while that's going on.
Actually, wait. Gurren, you would have done that. Did you steal the wine while Tyrion was still there, or was that after he left?
It was after.
Okay, never mind then. I was gonna say he would have noticed, but
I have to say, was the Tyrion left like very, I guess, relatively quickly. So how the morning went, right?
he was there for probably like 45 minutes total.
God, though, but from 5 a.m. or around, I guess it would be around 6 when my clothes got taken, or Roy's clothes got taken. Like till 12, the clothes were not done drying.
I was gonna say, what time did you guys actually get up?
I know that Farsi said Echo got up around 5.
Well, I said she got it first. I don't say
Oh.
specifically what
Uh,
time.
Martin made the comment that Tyrion woke him up at 5.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I'm guys basing off of that.
Mhm.
So it was somewhere in the morning. But I kind of just made it so Rory wakes up when there's sound, because living on the
Makes sense.
streets, you perk up at sounds. You gotta be ready to move.
I imagine also like sleeping in a building and hearing someone else in the building with you would probably like trigger some panic.
Yes. I'm hoping I'm getting the personality that he's faking out correctly, and I'm hoping you guys are catching the contradictions that already happened. I
I
do
think
want
so.
I do want the group to figure out he's lying, but I don't want it to be that obvious yet.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you guys have only known each other for a few hours at this point,
Yeah.
really. So,
And they were roommates.
and they were
And they were
roommates.
roommates. I did get sad. I'm like, oh, Echo's already looking for another house. She wants to leave.
Yeah. Also, not that you guys asked, but the reason that he didn't start you guys in the Lunar Quarter is because it's almost impossible to find housing there.
Oh,
Mm.
fair enough. Because I was when I looked at when he said this description, and when I thought about what we looked like, I'm like, I am surprised the Solar Quarter wants this ragtag group of people in here.
None of
We
you
don't.
are that bad. Like, there are tabaxi here, so there are cat people. Kobolds would. Gurn would probably be the most, like, kind of sus, but.
In my head, I'm like, we have we have a Tabaxi who is like overtly like, you know, on the little sexual side, but she's still covered up.
No, she ain't.
And covered up enough, okay? And then we have Homer, who kind of looks like, I want to say he looks like a bum, but he's not a bum. But I mean, before Terry had cleaned up his clothes, he had crusty clothes, so you know. And then we have someone who kind of just looks like, well, they might as well be a gothic whatever with the veil and the partially like whatever. And then we have
The
a kobold. So I'm like, we don't exactly look like the best intentioned of people. So
the three of you are honestly not that out of place here. The
oh, that's
kobold
surprising.
is like, I don't know if you could necessarily find another kobold. It's not one of the races that would get immediately like people screaming and like, what the fuck are you doing here? It would just be more of like a that's weird to see.
Oh, that's a lot better.
Um, for reference, in the Lunar Quarter, there are like straight up friendly, like I said, friendly mind flayers. There are mimics. Like there are
Mimics that are
actual,
friendly.
yeah, like actual real monsters. Uh, just like straight up, over there. So that's
Oh,
more like they're not as sort of racist as
they're
it might be
specious.
implied. It's just more the Lunar Court has some unique citizens.
I'm hoping we get to see them at some point.
Oh, you will. Oh, you will.
Good session, y'all. I'ma log
Good
off here.
session. Are we all
Alright.
good for next week?
Yes.
Yes.
It's
Yes. Hell
Yes.
yeah. Good game, guys.
Ooh,
GG.
wait,
Huh?
before you guys go, I do have to say I will not be available on the 20th because my dad's birthday is that day.
Your parents need to
So-
stop having birthdays. I'm sorry.
They're okay, but they're just in the winter. They're both in the winter.
We'll get them out of the way now. It's fine.
Yeah.
Fine.
And then every other birthday that I'm aware of that's immediate family related is in the middle of the week or as a weekend. So
Cool.
just my parents were in the Mondays.
No worries.
hell yeah. Good night,
I just-
everybody.
Good
Good
night.
See you
night.
next
Night.
week.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Okay, goodbye, stream.
Bye, stream.